Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. Post Leeds United 3-0 win against Peterborough. A really good win for the Whites. Some absolutely fantastic content going on after the game. Some interesting content going on after the game that we're going to get into. So please make sure you slap a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the One Leeds Fan Channel. We're closing in on 30,000 subscribers. We'll be doing a giveaway. Don't you worry about that. There is potential, I think, as well, that we might be hitting the debrief tomorrow, which is going to be very, very exciting after last week's episode. Was unfortunately missed because Oscar is a pesky thing. We might be able to get Mr. DB in as well, so that should be great. Live from Peterborough, as he was today. So he'll be able to give a unique perspective on everything we're going to be speaking about today. So make sure you check in on for that one as well. We have a Patreon account, everybody. 3 podcasts per week. A minimum of 13 videos per month. Go check that out in the link in the description below if you want to get some bonus, longer form content. There's a lot of you in the building. Hello, welcome to new members as well. For £2 a month, you can join the One Leeds membership group. That is all the housekeeping out of the way. Hello, everybody. How are we feeling? What are your reflections on Leeds United's superb win at Peterborough? Feet on the ground, but 3-0 does sound good twice on the bounce, doesn't it? Clean sheets do sound good twice on the bounce, but I'm certainly not getting too excited yet. I told you we'd be back with the rumour mill. We didn't have the rumour mill last night or yesterday. I had a bit of a day off. Obviously, we couldn't do it today because Leeds had an early kickoff, and we're going to get into a few of the rumours now. That is what this is, everybody, the rumour mill. Make sure you bear that in mind. I think some of you come on here thinking this is the confirmation mill. It certainly is not. It is the rumour mill, and I know you guys like discussing it and what's going on, so all I do is bring it to you guys with a little bit of debate, discussion, and subjectivity. So hello, welcome. Please make sure you're liking the video as well. Everybody going to get into a few of your comments. Bamford's goal wasn't too bad. New member Brett, hello, my friend. Shout out to you, buddy. Bamford 10-year extension tomorrow. You need to put your heating on, God. I don't, mate. Honestly, like I've just been out and about and I forgot to take it off. 30k giveaway. Exactly, mate. I'll do something. Evening, Connor. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Wayne. Another member there. Shout out to you. It's hot off the press. It's definitely not hot off the press, everybody. It's just a little bit of a discussion on things as well. But yeah, some things that I maybe think as well. So I wanted to start on Luke Ayling. I would direct you all to LFC Fan Zone, who put a video up of Luke Ayling post-match. And for me, you are never going to get a more obvious goodbye than that. Shout out to Stephen. Sorry, everyone. I am very, very ill today. Stephen, thank you so much, buddy. Hope you're all good. You're never going to get a more obvious goodbye than that. I think it was Gruev who went and hugged him. Dan James then went and hugged him. The Leeds faithful started singing it. Ayling went very slowly around the Leeds fans giving it that and was right at the front, had gone beyond the rest of the Leeds players. You know, that normally happens, doesn't it? It goes beyond the rest of the Leeds players and starts sort of clapping the Leeds fans. I just thought it was very interesting when it comes to body language. You know, Daniel Farke was speaking early on in the week about Luke Ayling. Like, he was almost laughing, saying when he was asked if he's moving to Middlesbrough. And he was very, very strong. Obviously, we had Graham Bailey on the show as well, who works up in the Teesside region and was, you know, off air saying to me, it's very, very, very strong rumours up there. I don't think Luke's bothered that, you know, if it is Middlesbrough, he doesn't have far to go. I'm going to follow up with Dom Shaw as well tomorrow. So you guys make sure you're following us tomorrow morning. I'll get some follow-up with the Luke Ayling stuff from the Teesside Gazette. But overall, it's looking interesting for Luke's future. I think it'd be a great move for him. I think Leeds would be stupid not to get this deal done. I think Luke Ayling deserves it. I think Leeds have to do something for him. But for me, that is the most obvious wave goodbye you are going to see. And let's hope, unlike Matthias Klick, where we didn't give him any sort of send-off, it's something really similar. But as I say, if you guys haven't checked it out, there's a clip going round, and LFC Fan Zone do some great things. Go check them out on Twitter or Instagram, and it's Luke Ayling just essentially just clapping, and I think he gave a little wave in there. Dan James gives him a big embrace, big hug, as does Gruev. I think it was Gruev, might have been someone else. But it was very, very obvious to me. Very, very obvious. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. As Stephen says, I hope Bill gets a proper send-off. Don't want another Klick. Agree, mate. We ain't going to see him off at Ellen Road now. Kind of putting the work in, yeah, Dino. Always, mate. I'm always trying to improve stuff. Shout out Brett Hum. Shout out to you, my friend. Another YouTube member. Shout out to you, buddy. I might have already shouted you out, but I think Ayling carried this team somewhat when Alioski left. That guy with his banter jokes, light-hearted personality, was hard to replace. But I think Ayling was the man to carry that flag. Love for that. Sad to see Billy goes, but I think it's right for us. Listen, everybody is on the same mantra. Shout out Jay. Hi, Jay. And I think everybody's right with what they're saying. He's been brilliant for us. He's been absolutely brilliant for us. But it is time to go. It's time to go. The guy's not been in many squads this year. He's not been in many squads. Ronnie Kipper in. Nothing yet, mate. We're just getting into it. But he's not. He's been out of many squads. And, you know, be thinking of his development. He's only 32. I think his legs have gone. I don't think he's good enough anymore. I really don't. And, yeah, I think that, for me, and I know I keep repeating myself, but that was a big, big goodbye. Robin Koch, it looks like there may permanently, according to several sources in Germany, be a permanent deal for the German imminently sign for Eintracht Frankfurt. So it looks like Robin Koch is going to be signing for Eintracht Frankfurt. The rumoured fee is £10 million, which is good. It almost gets Leeds United back on even keel when it comes to the investment that they made in the German, and gets us on a bit of a level playing field when it comes back to, obviously, you know, getting rid of him and getting rid of, hopefully, you know, if we're able to get a few more, maybe potentially Matt Rutter out the door as well, a few others, maybe gets us back on a bit of an even playing field when it comes to equaling those numbers, you know, that we let go on loan. Hopefully we can do that. So it looks like Robin Koch this week, according to many sources, he's going to be leaving to joining Eintracht Frankfurt. Good move for him. Obviously, they played Borussia Mönchengladbach not long ago. Werber scored, and I think Koch scored twice as well. And he's doing really well over there. Really, really well, Robin Koch. They like him. Werber's doing very, very well at Borussia Mönchengladbach. Could we see a permanent move for Max Werber as well? That's going to be another interesting look for us Leeds United fans. Could that potentially be a little bit of a move for him as well? Another permanent signing. Leeds getting a little bit of capital in the door, through the door, before we make moves. Leeds have one game a week, really, in the January period. We have a lot of time and a lot of room to be making additions and to be making successful outgoings as well, because we do need to do that. You know, let's bear in mind, we're all fans, want to see shiny new toys, want to see players coming in to Leeds United, but we also need to be realistic with this. You need to balance the books. You need to get some of those players off the wage structure. We spoke to Graham as well. Earlier on in the week, he said, have a look at Brendan Aronson. There is potential that he could be coming back to Leeds United. He's not happy at Union Berlin whatsoever. So, you know, there's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of potential in what's going on, but outgoings are also key. If players' stock is high, you know, if Robin's stock is high, if Max's stock is high, if, you know, Luis Sinisterra's stock is high, you know, there is potential always. Sinisterra would be a little bit more complicated with the loan structure, but for the players that are out there and are performing well, Mark Rocker as well, to get permanent deals done early, which brings in financial capital for Leeds United then to go and invest in the January period, which is so important with us trailing the pack. I'm reading just 27 likes and 670 watching, guys. There's 670 watching. As we live talk right now, let me just have a quick check. I've not had a look yet. We are on 29,956. You do the maths, everybody, but we're getting very, very close to 30,000 subscribers. 3.5 years on the channel, and that would be absolutely unbelievable if you guys could get me up there and get us up there. That would be great, and hopefully more content will be coming to you guys in 2024, which you'll enjoy. It's free as well. Dawn, thank you, Dawn. Really appreciate that. Bealey says, Bill's legs have gone, and you can see he's not as quick in making decisions anymore. You can see him stuck in between 2 and 3 decisions, losing the ball. Sadly, it is what it is, and sad to see him leave. I agree, mate. Stephen's in the building again. It's a free transfer for Koch. His contract is up in the summer. Basically signing a pre-contractual agreement. There can still be a fee, which is good there, Stephen. From what we understand anyway, from a lot of sources, there can still be a fee to Leeds United in a pre-contractual agreement as well, which is decent. Sell the dead one in. 10 million for Koch. Yeah, we're not going to be getting that, are we? Completely forgot about the pre-contractual agreement. But yeah, shout out to you, mate. Really happy to join the members on the channel, Connor. Thanks, pal. Really appreciate that. But let's get on to some more news as well. I love the channel, Connor. So a lot of lovely comments coming in. Thank you, mate. Hello, Connor. Do you think we'll get a goodbye for Ayling at Ellen Road? I hope so, buddy. Shout out to you, Jay. Absolute legend. I hope so, mate. We need one. Click was an absolute embarrassment. It was an utter embarrassment how Leeds treated him. You know, at the end of the game, none of the fans knew what was going on, and Click's crying his eyes out, giving everybody a clap, and that's the last time Leeds United fans see him. It's an absolute joke, to be honest with you. Do not want to see that with Luke Ayling, but for me, that was obvious. So you can take the title of the video however you want. You've got Robin Koch there, and you've got Luke Ayling. Luke Ayling is a little bit more subjective, but that looked like a buy to me, especially with the rumours, the heavy rumours we're hearing at the minute of Michael Carrick and Gibson being very, very keen on Luke Ayling. So we'll wait and see. It'll be interesting this week to see if things materialise. Emmett Ollie in the building. Wow, Bamford done a Yeboah and same. Yeah, let's have a little bit of a chat about old Bamford. Now, I've had this after my last video. Okay, so because I praise Bamford and people aren't used to it, it's very novel of me, and apparently I'm flip-flopping, and apparently I can't make up my mind, and I'm being contradictory. Now, listen, I'll give the hard line. I'm not being contradictory whatsoever. If Patrick Bamford, I mentioned about 3 weeks ago, and lots of people have seen that video, that Patrick Bamford I would be looking to get rid of in January. Now, if Leeds United can promise me some sort of number 10 or some sort of number 9 in the window, especially if you're getting a number 9 who replicates some of the attributes that Bamford's got in terms of that long ball, in terms of long ball, controlling that ball, being able to get Leeds up the pitch. There's been a lot of chat about Kiefer Moore. If that is facilitated by Patrick Bamford going out, just to clear up a lot of these things where people are saying I'm contradictory, blah, 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 I would still do that. I would still sell Patrick Bamford in January. Right now, Patrick Bamford's stock is very, very high. It's very, very high. He's just scored an absolute wonder goal. You'll all call me crazy for saying this, but right now, I'm not saying this needs to be done, but right now, and I don't think Leeds will do it, at this very second, if Leeds was selling because of what he's just done, his stock will be a lot higher than what it was before the game. You know, he scored against Birmingham. He scored against Peterborough, a wonder goal. If a bid came in for Patrick Bamford, we're all still turning around surely and saying, well, you know, and if we could invest that in a striker, invest that in a number 10, I'd still be doing that. So there's no contradiction from me at all. Bamford gives us a different style of playing. We beat the press, we go long, we did it today. And Bamford, to be fair to him, played very, very well. I'm not 100% sure, and this is why I'm still on the selling bandwagon when it comes to Bamford, that he can do that consistently. I'm still not sure that he can stay fit consistently, and I still think we're going to see Joel Piroe and Jorginho Rutter start ahead of him. Now, I'm still of the position Bamford was a world-class goal today, and he played well. He played well, but we still saw deficiencies in his game today. He played well against Birmingham, but it's Birmingham. They were a pub team. I still think if Leeds have the option to sell Patrick Bamford in this window with a bid or whatever it can be, and we're still able to get a number 9 with more attributes in his locker, more artillery than Patrick Bamford, and someone who's going to stay regularly fit and play for Leeds week in, week out, I'd still do that. So there's no contradiction from me. One comment said, I liked Weston McKennie when he first came, and look how that turned out, and then you didn't like him at the end. Well, that's what happens in football. If you get a player from Juventus who's played regularly for Juventus and for the States, you're excited when he's come in. We were all excited. Then we saw him play and we were like, ugh. And then there's another one saying, oh, you like Mark Rocker? I did like Mark Rocker, and I like Mark Rocker as a player. He's played 24 games and scored 5 goals in La Liga. I think he's a decent player. It just didn't work out for him at Leeds United. That's not a contradiction. You can see how players have played and then make an evaluation just because maybe you like them or didn't like them at the start. That's not, and this isn't me biting to criticism, everybody. It's me responding. On the last video, just wanted to address the fact that I still think if we get an offer for Patrick Bamford, if we have the ability to sell Patrick Bamford, take the hysteria of today out of it, take the sentiment out of it. If we can still go get a number 9 who's going to put the ball in the back of the net, strategically give us something different, and he's younger, I'd still do that 100%. And I'd still like your comments on that, everybody. Really interesting. Bamford has far better ball control than Piroe. If we can get a semi-decent fee for Bamford, I'd take it. Yeah, and I think this is what I mean, everybody. Yeah, unreal goal and good performance from Paddy, but we've yet to see him do it against a better, more organised team. Birmingham and Posh aren't a good yardstick to see, and that's exactly where I'm at, Jane. Shout out to you for subscribing on the membership, mate. That's where we're at. As Leeds fans, we're logical people. You know, we're intelligent people. We think we are. I mean, I'm not. You guys might be, but you know, as long as we just get a different dimension from a striker, the key for more thing just sticks in my head. I like the key for more shout. You all might think you're crazy, Connor. You're an idiot, Connor. You're a nutter, Connor. But I just like it. I think it gives us something different. I don't mind him as a player whatsoever. I think he's tidy for a big man. But that's just an example. If you want to get someone else of that equivalent, standpoint who can get us up the pitch and he's an actual number 9, which Piroe isn't or Bamford isn't, then I'm happy with that, and I'd be happy to still sell Bamford. A goal against Birmingham and a wonder goal against Peterborough doesn't just suddenly make him a top championship player. But I'm going to give him his plaudits and his flowers for today and for what he did against Birmingham in terms of stretching Leeds' play. That fair play to him. So, anyway. Hi, mate. Hi, Simeones. Hope you're all good, mate. So sorry, boys, Johnny late. No problem, DJ. Hope you're all good, Bo. Brian says, if Bamford wasn't injured, probably be essential to us, but he isn't, so finally to let him go as possible. Conor Bradley came on to Liverpool. Yeah, he was brilliant, mate. He was. Ooh, Adam Eder. Yeah, Adam Eder. Haven't we got Shrek sacked after that 3-0 win? We've done Fergie Jr. 3-0. We've had worse weeks. He's not been sacked, has he? Oh no, you're just saying like it's just a nice consecutive thing. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to all the new members, everybody. And we have got to say Bamford was good today. Hold up play really, really good. Knock on play really, really good. We're able to get a lot of our small diminutive players in and around Patrick Bamford, which I've been shouting for weeks. And then the second ball is won by Leeds players, and we're able to do that well. But let's see. Archie in the middle was brilliant today. Archie was fantastic. Love him in that midfield. Please go get another right back. Let's get another right back. Let's make a song out of it. How about we make a song out of getting another right back? But yeah, we've got to do it at some point because Archie's he's having shots on goal. We've said this in the previous live stream. He's having shots on goal, and that's what we need. We need our number 8. I love Kamara. Now, this isn't a contradiction. Let me just explain. I do love Kamara, the silky smooth operator. I've said on many streams that I think he's a top operator and can play in the Premier League. But as weeks are going on, which happens in football, players play, they progress. You get a different evaluation of how they're progressing and what sort of player they are. I'm looking at Kamara and thinking he's a very, very good Adam Forshaw. I'm looking at an Archie Gray and thinking he's a very good and better Matthias Klick. Loves a shot. Loves in that advanced 8 role, getting in and behind the midfield pairing that the opposition have. Likes getting into that pocket and goes forward more than he goes sideways and back. Is proactive. Love that. Absolutely love that. Archie still needs a midfield base behind him, but I think Archie Gray has the ability to compete with Glenn Kamara for that sort of number 8 role. Kamara doesn't shoot. Archie shoots all the time, and I like that from a midfielder. We need goals from the midfield as well. Can't just rely on a front 4, And I loved what I saw today. Shots. We need more of that. And I'm not talking tequila. Dormston Cook says, Connor, Bamford, when fully fit, is our best option and proven in this league. Dormston, yes. And which is a worrying thing, isn't it? Which is a worrying option. When we've spent 16 million on Joel Piroe, who I think was brought in to be a number 9. I think he was. And that's why I said at the start, he's very different to what Timu Pukki was, who's an actual number 9. Piroe never was and isn't. And there's still fans who are telling me he is, and it's Farke's fault. He's just not a number 9. Never has been, never was. That was the quite confusing thing about the Joel Piroe. And we can talk. We're all big boys and big girls. We can talk about it now. It was a very confusing transfer, And I was happy because of the quality and the stats that we've seen from Joel Piroe. But on the other hand, you're thinking, well, stylistically, which was mentioned at the start of the season, how's he going to fit here? We didn't know where Rutter was going to play, of course, but we still had sort of like number 10 profiles at that point. I know it was earlier in the season, wasn't it? But it was Gelhardt, who's like Paveda. We didn't know where he was going to fit because he drops deep a lot. So it's a little bit unhinged, really, with Joel Piroe. We've spent 16 million on him, so Leeds need to fit him in. But it's what do you do? Because for me, if we do buy a number 9, you bring in Rutter back. You are bringing Rutter back. Or if you buy a 10, you're putting Rutter further forward because you can't keep Rutter out the side. And I do think Rutter does act as a number 10, but he is more of a number 9 with... he's more of a number 9, in my opinion, than Piroe. Piroe just drops so deep. You even saw it today. Don't make a meme out of that, please. Out of context. I've seen you guys. But yeah, he drops just too deep. I think Rutter actually has more forward actions than Piroe does at points. So Yeah, it was an interesting signing. It was an odd signing, but the club made it. But yeah, the reason we have to play Paddy there, really, a lot of it, and we're talking about playing Paddy there, is because we didn't actually get a proper number 9, which is interesting in itself. Maybe we should have done. Okay. Stephen says, does bringing in Fabio Carvalho overcrowd that number 10 role? Let's talk about that. So Fabio Carvalho, according to Fabrizio Romano and a lot of other sources, it is between Southampton, Hull and Leeds United for the signature of now ex RB Leipzig loanee Fabio Carvalho. Fabio Carvalho, who has absolutely ripped up the championship before, 44 appearances for that record-breaking Fulham side, 12 goals and 8 assists. Yes, Carvalho was one of those players where we were in the Premier League. You're looking down, you're seeing this Fulham side flying with Mitrovic and co, Kearney and co, and you're seeing this little man in the midfield doing absolute wonders, doing bits. He can play as an inverted winger. He can play central midfield. He can play as an inside forward on either side. Fabio Carvalho is the definition of versatility from an offensive standpoint. Fabio Carvalho is what you call quality when it comes to, in my opinion, any level. There's a reason RB Leipzig work on a data model. They'll have looked at their data spreadsheet and said, bang, I like him. We like him. We can't afford him because he's at Liverpool, blah, blah, blah. He was bought for a big fee from them, by them, and they see him as a future. That was one of their future prospects. But they've signed him on loan. You know, they got him on a data spreadsheet. We know what Leipzig are like. They work in very, very, very meticulous fashion. They bring Carvalho in. And that is a wonderful signing for RB Leipzig at that level. Now, he wasn't playing enough matches. Maybe he didn't impress. No, he's not got as many minutes as he'd have liked. He's gone back to Liverpool. Fabrizio Romano is reporting now that amongst Wolverhampton Wanderers, who did want him, apparently there's discussion behind the scenes that there's a problem with Wolves because Wolves will not play him as much as he wants. Carvalho, probably similarly to Jed Spence, will want to come in with assurances, and Liverpool want assurances, that he is playing for Leeds pretty much every single game. And there can be stipulations in contracts that say, we want this player playing X amount of games, or you're not having him. I think that was the complication with Eddie's contract as well. Arsenal wanted him playing more. So there we are. But Fabio Carvalho has the potential, the ability, and the proven track record to fire Leeds into the automatic promotion. With where we are, with the matches he would win by himself, in my opinion, with the matches he has won at Fulham by himself, he is a top quality championship edition and can play anywhere. And if we're looking at a 4-2-3-1 system, he can play anywhere in the front four. There's an argument in a front two he can play as an advanced forward as well. He can definitely play as a shadow striker, 100%. So, really exciting link there. And it also shows that when Daniel Farke in his press conference, like a lot of you have said and suggested, was talking about bringing someone in, yada, 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 it only being an emergency. And it's sounding very, very reactive that Leeds are doing stuff behind the scenes, which is interesting. Maybe I didn't think that. Well, I'll tell you, I didn't think that. I was referring a lot to the fullbacks. I still think they're going to be reactive to emergency injuries when it comes to fullbacks. When it comes to a central attacking midfielder, I wasn't really specific on whether or not I thought Leeds would do stuff. There's David Brooks rumours. I thought that'd make sense. You know, Fabio Carvalho seems to be, a real profile when it comes to the next level, really. So exciting, really exciting. And it shows that Leeds are being linked to these cams, which says to me that they're going to do something. They've now got 3 loan spots available with Jed Spence, sadly, leaving the club. So I think with Carvalho, the interesting thing is going to be as well, where he deems fit. Someone was just mentioned in the comments there. I think we've got a new member here. We have Swampy. Shout out to you, my man. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, buddy. £2 a month. Shout out to you. If Fabio comes to Leeds, do people think he won't get minutes? Because that's mad to me. He's too good not to get minutes as NJ1. I agree with you, mate. I think the thing is where do you fit him in? Where do you fit him in? If he is continuing to play Rutter in the 10, slight issue. Slight issue. But I think what we would switch to is, from what I've seen today, I still do think it's going to be Rutter up top. But I do think, Bamford, maybe. And as I've said, guys, I still think I would be looking at selling Pat with his stock being so high in January. But if we are to just get a number 10, I could see Carvalho playing in behind, and then I could see Rutter playing as the 9. Or you can see him as an inverted winger. Guys, he's played inside forward, inside winger as well. He's not just an attacking midfielder. He's not your typical Elias Share. He's someone who can fluctuate, can be fluid, like a lot of our players, like Nonto, like Somerville. They can be fluid across that 3 and behind the striker. So Carvalho, but imagine the sauce, everyone. Imagine the sauce. But Carlos Alberto has just said that Carvalho in the 10 and Rutter at the 9. I do think that's it as well. I do think it's a perfect signing. Shout out to you, Jay Coyle, my man. I agree with you. I think that's the way forward. I think Rutter is learning a little bit more on playing in the 9. I'd like to see a little bit more number 9 tendencies. When those balls are flashed into the box, I want Rutter on the end of them. But I think there's more number 9 tendencies with Rutter than there is Piroe. I fully believe that. I really do. As I've said on multiple streams before and the watch-alongs, when Daniel Farke goes out, I think he genuinely just says between Rutter and Piroe, you guys figure it out between you. Because you're both quite similar. But I think Rutter takes the mantle and goes further forward. I genuinely believe with an out-and-out 10, I still think you're getting Piroe dropping deep, and that's easier for defences. And it's going to make problems potentially for Carvalho. Or let's say if he's in the number 10, because you've got Piroe in front of the defence, Carvalho in front of the defence, Somerville trying to break the lines and the winger trying to break the lines. You have to have a number 9 trying to break that centre-back partnership and getting over the shoulder. So, yeah. Paul says Rutter don't work in a 9, though. I think it... yeah, I mean... We've mentioned it. We've mentioned him being better in a 10, and that's why it's interesting, Paul, because I think he's got more 9 tendencies than Piroe, as I've just said, but you can't keep Rutter out the team. And Fabrizio Romano, the best journalist in the world, is reporting that Leeds are in for Carvalho, who notoriously is a number 10. However, Carvalho, according to the stats, and according to everything that we've seen, obviously, can play right wing, can play on the left as well. And I've mentioned before in here that he can play as an inside forward. So if he can do all these things, maybe it's competition for that front 4. Maybe it's because Nonto's leaving and he's maybe looking at him as an inverted winger. Lots of scenarios. But it's interesting that Leeds are looking at that profile. When I've seen Rutter in the 10 recently, as I keep saying, because people don't listen, I do think he's got more 9 tendencies than Piroe. And what I mean by that is I think he gets in between the defenders more. He's off the line more. He's offside more, which is good for a striker. I think when you're offside more, you're in invariably the right positions. But I think if a 10 was to come in, you'd see Piroe really out the squad a lot of the time. But there's an argument. And I will say this, there is an argument that Pat Bamford could be starting up top as well if you're getting a Carvalho in there and then Rutter and Piroe on the bench. But I just don't think that would happen. I hope Nonto goes. Is the title clickbait? Nope, not clickbait at all. Carvalho changes everything and defender about to leave is Robin Cott. And you could, if you're looking subjectively, look at Luke Ayling as well in there. Carvalho over Nonto any day of the week. Yeah, Gruev is better than... Gruev was really good today, mate. Gruev was really, really good. I was really happy with what I saw. Domster says, Rutter is not the answer at 9, Connor, in my opinion. He's better suited to a 10 crate. And I know this is what a lot of people are saying, Domster, and I don't disagree with you. I've said on previous videos, I think he was brilliant in the 10 when Bamford was in the 9. And maybe Carvalho is just being brought in as an inverted winger. Maybe that's where Leeds see him. But it's the Buendia thing, isn't it? With what you've seen with Farke before. And maybe that's what he's thinking and that's what he needs. Swampy, hiya, mate. Rutter's finish may not be the best at the moment, but that's not to say he can't improve. He's still young, learning his craft, and look how good he is. He's over what everyone thought he was last year. Yeah, and as well, guys, in the box, he's the best. He's probably the best in the league. He's probably the best in the league in terms of getting that ball and carrying it and beating a man, you know. So bringing Carvalho and sending Anthony back to Bournemouth, obviously that would mean Sinistera comes back as well. We also need a new keeper. Melee will cost us. Jay Coyle, IJ, for me, you can't play Grove next to Ampadu and expect him to do the work that Kamara does, but for the role that he played today, did very, very good. Yeah, I mean, they're two different players as well, mate. So, Stephen says, what what would be your 2 picks at centre half this January? Obviously, I'd stick with Strout, mate, and Rodon. But in terms of rotation, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I don't want to put Ampadu there, but ahead you've got Gruev, Kamara, and Archie. If we were to get a fullback in, but I don't want to put Ampadu there consistently. I think against better opposition, I think they target him a little bit at the back. So obviously he's quite slight, isn't he? But you've seen short defenders work at the back before. Puyol, Mascherano, but so it can work. But I'd have liked to have seen Cresswell. I think Cresswell is very one-dimensional, but I don't think he's a bad player. I don't think he's a bad championship player. I think he's got potential. But I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Cresswell and Rodon. That's what I wouldn't mind seeing, but I don't think that's going to happen. Paul Brunton says you're not playing Cooper Connor. I just can't believe you haven't played Cresswell today. Obviously, Richard Cresswell put out on his social media today. It'd be nice to see Charlie get some game time once again. That's Charlie's evidently going, isn't he? Evidently. Not playing Cooper Connor. I'm not, mate. No, I'm not. But we need enforcements there. We need enforcements at centre-back as well. We've got to look at that long-term plan. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. But listen, we're 50 people off 30,000 subscribers. Head on over to the Patreon for some long-form content. There's 1,300 of you in the building. Make sure you like the video so it ranks up on the algorithm. Make sure you subscribe with the notification bell on so you get notified every time I upload. I'm uploading 2 or 3 times a day. We're going to be back tomorrow morning with the Rumour Mill. Stay tuned. We always have rumours. We always have discussions, debates, and all that good stuff. Shout out to all these YouTube members. If you want to hit the thanks button after the video, you can do that and donate to the channel if you fancy. Don't have to, of course. But yeah, guys, loads of bonus content out there for all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment as always, and head over to those bonus features if you want some more One Leeds content. Guys, we've got player ratings out on the Patreon as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. I will see you tomorrow morning.